I want to give some feedback on your diagnostic essays. There were some very good ones and there were some very bad ones, but I think all of you can benefit from a few things and reminders in some cases, but not in others. The first is that you have to go through the modules, everything. That's why I put everything on a to-do list with a date for the end of the week. If you're going through a module and you skip certain things, you're simply going to miss certain things, and generally speaking, and I mean almost all the time, those who do that do not pass the course. Everything is built toward constructing an essay. So for instance, many of you this time did not attach the list of common errors to your essay, or you did and you just X'd it without even looking at your essay and it together, and that was clear in many cases. It's an editing tool. It's an editing tool that I give people after reading 30,000 plus essays, as I've done. And there are certain things that you just can't do in a college essay. And I will note some of them because many of you just did them anyway. You can't use you or your or any variant like that. It's just not allowed because using the second person as an audience is not acceptable. You will stay in the third person. You'll also stay in the third person unless directly asked otherwise as an authorial voice. So you don't use I. This is not your personal therapy session. It's your challenge to write an argument. So leave the I out unless you have some specific relevant personal information, and I can tell you that won't happen in your first 3 essays for sure. So the voice has to be third person, the audience has to be third person, and the focus is on constructing the argument with logic and emotion and credibility. With that being said, a couple of functional things that you'll want to work on. One is using MLA form properly. MLA asks that everything be double-spaced. Now, in older versions of Word, that meant that you would go to the Paragraph tab. If you have that, you just click on Paragraph, and if you drop down, there's a box that says Do Not Add Space Between Paragraphs. Highlight that box so that you don't. In a newer version of Word like this, I'm just showing you right here, you'll click on this, and where it says 2.0, you'll go there. Do not add space before or after your paragraph. Again, everything is double-spaced. So technically, once I've started this, I don't have to do anything for the rest of the essay. That means heading, everything. It's all taken care of. So some MLA formatting issues there, some basic stylistic issues with the use of the word you. Another thing I'm going to point out to you, and I'll just type on this, is it's a grammatical rule, actually, that all periods and commas go inside quotation marks. So if I have a quote, it doesn't really matter what it is, what is inside of it. A period will always go inside it, or comma will always go inside it. That doesn't change. It's just American Standard Grammatical English. If you have a citation, this does not adhere to the rule because you have the parentheses, and then you might have a page number in there and the period to go after parentheses, and that's not really an option. It's just a different construct. But if you have one of the top two, make sure that your periods and commas always go inside quote marks. On your first essay, you'll be dealing with titles of articles. If you're dealing with titles of articles, remember titles of articles go in quotes. So they'll look like that. They are not italicized. The name of a newspaper would be italicized, but the name of a quote would be put in quotes, or an article would be put in quotes. So it's parts of a whole. A song on a CD would be in quotes, but the whole CD is italicized. The big thing is, if you have any questions about any of these issues, just email me. I love simple grammatical questions. I love taking a sentence and helping you make it more clear. There are a lot of things that you'll run across when you're writing. You go, oh, I'm not sure what that is. And instead of just throwing it out there and doing what you've done, ask me. I'll give you an answer, and that'll improve your writing. And if you have any bigger questions, too, I'm here for you. So for now, it was good to read your first group of essays. You're working on the first formal one, and I'm on the other end. I look forward to working with you. Have a good weekend, everybody.